Good, fine evening, fellow YouTubers. A very quiet and very casual live video for your entertainment. Now, you may ask yourself, why is the title of this live stream Why? 3 simple letters, W-H-Y. As humans, we ask ourselves this question on a daily basis. When pursuing an attractive member of the opposite sex and you see that she's taken, you ask yourself, why is she with him? When you're cooking food, if you ask yourself, why would I put that ingredient with that ingredient? Well, because it tastes good. You know, a lot of people are understandably uncomfortable with the idea of me owning a pistol. And long story short, I got this lecture about owning it when I didn't use any money I wasn't supposed to use to buy it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, okay. And why would you need something like that? Well, you never know. A little extra protection doesn't hurt. And as soon as I was checking it out at the gun store, it took me back to when I watched Tombstone and what have you. Doc Holliday saying, I'm a Huckleberry. For that reason alone, this pistol's name is Huckleberry. I could name it Shamrock. I could name it Lucky. I could name it Boondock, because the Boondock Saints are Irish, but all of those would be cliches. Yeah, naming your gun Huckleberry isn't, because Doc Holliday said, I'm your Huckleberry. I don't know, that just seems a bit more classy. I like a good Western, and I would never actually use it on somebody unless they had a gun and they were trying to shoot me. And quite honestly, I don't see the need to have more than 2 guns at this point. You know, I live in an apartment complex and a small studio, so 2 guns is more than enough. It's plenty for me for now. I've been wanting to get a pistol, and I found one that's not only black and green, but it was in my price range. And, well, you may not see me on the internet very much for a little bit, but rest assured I'll be back, you know. The whole situation with my phone falling out of my pocket and breaking was definitely a mild setback. However, I got some money coming in from Teespring and what have you, so I'll be gathering up some money into my PayPal and then transferring it to my bank account. And when I get that money transferred to my bank account, I'll take it out and see if I can't find a used iPhone somewhere for a decent price. I don't think it'll cost any money to transfer all the stuff from your old phone to your new one, but instead of buying an iPhone brand spanking new from the phone store, in my predicament right now, it'd be smarter to buy a used one that's been wiped clean and that sort of thing. You know, and that's just the thing of it, is life is full of unpredictable events. You know, and I was asking myself this question, why did my phone have to break after I just got done purchasing this sweet pistol? Had I known my phone was going to break, I would have spent the $300 some odd and gotten a new one, but now it just seems foolish to return it. You know what I'm saying? Because why, you know what I'm saying, would you want to keep it? And the answer is, 1, it's black and green. 2, I've had my shotgun for years and haven't had a single issue. I mean, I understand why certain people are concerned about me having a pistol. It's because they care and they don't want to see me do something stupid. You know what I'm saying? But fuck suicide and fuck murder. You know what I'm saying? Because that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't worth ending your life over something stupid, and it sure as hell ain't worth killing somebody else over something stupid. I mean, both outcomes just spread misery, and this world's already full of it. So, no, but my dad's basically acting like I spent SSDI money on my handgun when I didn't. You know, these were strictly YouTube donations. You know, I'm not going to spend the money I need for my disorder on stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I know better than that. That's a part of being responsible with that sort of thing. You know, I don't rely on it completely, but it comes in handy when the situation calls for it. You know what I'm saying? And well, my dad basically said that, you know, if I don't return the pistol to the gun store, then he's going to cut off internet and phone, and it's just going to be the bare basics. You know, he basically said that, oh, a couple of things. I'm not going to go into detail with it because it doesn't matter. For the sake of the video, it doesn't matter. But so if I end up going without phone and internet for a little bit, so be it. But that's like 150 extra bucks I'll have to figure out how to make. And right now, the threat of cutting my phone off, I mean, it is what it is. I only got a phone right now to begin with. So my first step is acquiring a phone, and that I can do. You know what I'm saying? I can stick some money in my savings account. If, you know what I'm saying? If I get like a good solid 200 some odd dollars, I could probably find a decent used iPhone for that price. It's not going to be the newest or the fanciest, but it'll be enough to hold my music and allow me to make texts and calls and that sort of thing, which is a bit smarter than going to the phone store and buying one new. You see what I'm saying? So you ask the question, why would you go to a phone store to buy one new when that costs more money? So sometimes buying an iPhone used, maybe it's not the newest, but if it's enough to get you by, you know, then I ain't complaining. So I want to shop around in the next couple of days when I get that money. And but right now I'm stuck without a phone for a couple of days. It is what it is. Probably wouldn't hurt to invest in a more protective case for it this time around. So if I do end up getting a used iPhone, I might want to at least invest in a decent phone case for it. So that way, if it drops, it ain't gonna break. But if any of my friends want to get a hold of me, they basically have to come hit me up at my apartment now. Otherwise, they're SOL. You know, this Facebook ban came at a very inconvenient time. But next month on the 7th, I'll be off of my Facebook ban, and I'll be able to return to posting there again, which will be nice. But for the moment being, you know, I could also try to invest in some like cheap headphones and do vocal covers on YouTube Live without getting copyright infringement. Do a couple that I know, and then people can pay money to do requests, and I can sing them for y'all on YouTube. And well, me and my dad are having a discussion, and the only way to get a hold of my dad was through one of his emails. And I've been talking with him the last couple of days. And my dad cares about me, and he's worried about me, and that's why, you know, he gets concerned when he finds out, oh, great, his son bought another fucking handgun, you know what I'm saying? Or another gun, you know what I'm saying? I mean, my dad was at first a little sketchy about the side-by-side shotgun. He was like, you know, hey, whoa, you know, you don't even hunt. Why do you need this? But then After a couple of years of owning it, I'm not doing stupid shit with it. I'm being responsible with my gun. Okay, now all of a sudden he's not so worried about it. But then now I got a pistol. Now my dad's really uncomfortable with the idea of me owning a pistol because of my temper and shit. And to be fair, I've been trying to work on my temper. It's not easy. It's not. I still get mad from time to time. I will admit that. But I'm learning to not flip out as much over little shit. You know what I'm saying? And well, I wanted to respond to some of the things that my dad was saying via email, but this keyboard is just a pain in the ass burgers to type on. So, and I kind of figured, my dad's not the only person who's concerned about me owning this beautiful piece right here. A lot of people are like, oh, well, and oh, you can kiss my Wyoming-born Asperger's, man, if you don't like me owning this pistol. That'd be a more inappropriate way of saying it, but yeah. And like I said, I keep it empty unless I have to use it. And I spent a good $40-some odd on a nice leather holster that I could attach to my leather Harley Davidson belt. And then spent like $300-some odd for a literal black and green pistol. I mean, this thing is gorgeous, double action. And of course, it's empty. You know what I'm saying? This is a nice little piece. The only time I do not carry it is if I'm working or if I'm taking a shower. But why? Because it's a hobby. And because Wyoming is an open carry friendly state. You don't need to have a permit to openly carry a firearm. And because of that, there's literally no mass shootings in Wyoming. Because I guarantee you, if someone tried pulling that shit, it'd be like some Mexican stand-up type shit. Like, no joke. The bumper sticker, welcome to Wyoming, consider everybody armed and dangerous. No, but you tend to find that the more gun-friendly states, like Wyoming, have the least amount of shootings because, the more lax on certain things. A lot of people think that guns are the problem, and the truth of it is they're not. It's certain individuals that are the problem. Society itself is the problem. And these trolls have fucked with me in numerous times over the years. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they personally come out and attack me. I don't think my trolls hate me that much, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? It never hurts to have a little bit of extra protection. And I even straight up told my dad, I'm not buying any more guns. This is enough. Unless I had my dream house, 2 guns is all I need. One was just fine, but you can't really carry that on you, You're the main gun and a sidearm and you're good to go. You don't need to you don't really need to have a shit ton of guns unless you're an avid shooter. I don't go shooting very often, but so arguing and talking with my dad on via email and fighting a cold. But I'm pushing through it, YouTube. I'm not letting it get to me too much. I'll admit it was getting to me earlier because I was crabby from being a little bit sick. But I just said, fuck it. And I took a break, went to go hang out with some friends, came back with a brand new outlook. You know what I'm saying? Because, I understand that people care about me and shit, but, first of all, you have to understand one thing. I made a promise to homeboy Scotty that I wouldn't commit suicide. So if you consider someone your homie and you make a pact like that, him and me have both made an anti-suicide pact that we're not going to do it and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's times when he gets depressed, and as his good friend, I talk him out of it, and he does the same thing for me. And I try not to let the conversations that me and my father may have sometimes get me stressed out, but, I made some YouTube money and wanted to have a little fun, and I get made to feel like a piece of shit for spending my YouTube money. I don't think that's what he was intentionally trying to do. I think he had a different approach to it, but that's how it came off as. And again, I'm not going to, explain too many details on what was said. What I'm saying, that's what was said in the emails. None of that's your business, YouTube. But a lot of people are like, oh, how do you feel about your dad talking about you on Reddit? Maybe he was telling these trolls a little bit about me so they understand the kind of struggles I went through growing up. That maybe it gets them to see that, oh, dude, we're picking on this dude? Come on, that's, wow, fuck. So I kind of feel like a lot of trolls are going to back off after that happened. So he wasn't talking shit on me. He was standing up for me. So obviously he cares. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? Which is not a bad thing, but it's like I emailed my dad earlier. I says, look, I'm not going to buy any more guns. Okay. I make enough money on wands that I could support my internet and my rent, or not my rent, but at least my internet and my phone. So if that's extra, and if you're taking away that part of the spending on and it's just the bare basics, it's better than nothing. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to find a way to make it happen. So if I don't appear on YouTube for a while, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll be back. You know how I do. But the last couple of days have been kind of, I got a 30-day Facebook ban that was completely undeserved. And then my phone falls out of my pocket and gets run over by a car when I'm crossing the street. And I don't even realize it till I'm on the other side of the fucking street. I hear I'm like, what the fuck was that? I turn around and I'm like, is that my phone? I look at my pocket. I'm like, God damn it. I got it up off the street before I got crushed any further, and I'm sitting there cussing about it, man. Like, you wouldn't even know, dude. I'm like, God damn it. I don't even know how the fuck it happened. Most of the clumsy shit that happens to me, I ask myself why. And this is another reason why I keep my guns empty unless I know I'm going to go to the range and I'm on the range about to shoot at a safe target. You know what I'm saying? It's because I'm aware of how clumsy I am. And, learning to control your temper is not exactly an easy thing, but it can be done. And in the last couple of weeks, it's not as bad as it usually is. So, not really paying too much attention to the chat, just kind of speaking my mind at the moment. That's some good black Cavendish pipe tobacco, but it's very moist, so you gotta torch it with a lighter. And sometimes in life, that's just what it's all about, really. You load up a pipe full of tobacco, you smoke it, and you ponder, and you relax, and you learn not to, stress it so much, you know what I'm saying? There are times when I'll purely load a bowl of tobacco just to smoke it because I'm stressed and I'm out of cigarettes. And most of the time I'll smoke my pipe because I enjoy the taste of the pipe tobacco. People go, why would you smoke a pipe? Because pipe tobacco smells amazing. You get a nice cherry scented pipe tobacco. It waffles through the air. It's a conversation starter, isn't it? And chicks dig the smell of a sweet smelling pipe. It gives you that kind of Hugh Hefner-ish appeal, Speaking of the ladies, I've noticed that it's not that they don't find me attractive. Women do find me attractive. It's just that when you're a YouTube celebrity, it can be a bit intimidating at first, especially if you have arms as large as me. So quite often, it's like the reverse of what happens to me when I go into a bar and I see a hot chick I want to talk to, or maybe I see a hot chick standing in line at Loaf and Jug or the grocery store or what have you. And just being afraid to make small talk. So I understand the feeling completely. I mean, girls are just bashful around me because I'm good looking, and that's okay to admit, but don't act like I'm top shit because I'm good looking. You know what I'm saying? I try to be humble about my good looks and my YouTube fame. I don't let it go to my fucking head. If anything, I don't have enough confidence in myself half the time. And when you ain't got a solid set amount of money down, when you're not making solid money, there's no sense in dating until you're making that money. People are in such a rush to find companionship because they're afraid to be alone. And when you ask the question why? Why are people in such a rush to find love? Because they're afraid to be alone. It doesn't change the physical outcome, YouTube. We're all going to die alone. In some rare cases, you might be lucky enough to die with your significant other, but that usually doesn't happen. Even if you're lucky enough to find a girl to marry someday, eventually one of you dies before the other one, and the other one has to live with that the rest of their life, whether they forget it or not. And you can't avoid that outcome. Even if you don't marry someone, you're still going to die alone. So even if you do marry someone, you're still going to die alone. Like, those are the only two guaranteed things in life: dying alone and taxes. And it's a harsh reality, but it's one we all face at some point or another. I don't like dealing with a cold, but I'm pushing through it on this video just so I can talk to you all and kind of let you know what may or may not happen. I may end up having to complete the batch of wands without the crystal scepter because actually, I may not have to. If I can find quartz crystal that'll fit that. The copper wire is cheap. So I may not have to complete a couple extra smaller wands just to make up for that one last one. We definitely want to keep making those wands. They seem to be a hot seller. Aren't all these people talking shit / making fun of me or copying me? Like, I heard someone in chat say the fake King Cobra is making wands. I heard someone else say that this person and that person were making wands, and I'm just like, well, it's friendly competition, I suppose, but there's only one Cobra Craft wands, and that's when they're made by me. There's a reason why they sold out in 5 minutes flat. And if I literally sell like 2 batches of wands, that's $400. So I got multiple ways to make some money here in the next couple of days. Oh, not a whole lot. Mr. Swift777 just chilling out, doing a nice little live stream. Got me some H2O. To better understand my father on his side of the argument, other than just the fact of I'm his son, he cares about me, he doesn't want me doing something stupid with any of my guns, and trust and believe I'm not going to. Like there was the fun of owning a gun outweighs the want to do something stupid. And at the end of the fucking day, I got bigger fish to fry. So whatever comments people may have about me, they're negative or positive, it doesn't matter. The positive ones are more important than the negative ones, obviously. I mean, you can constructively criticize someone without being a dick, and that's what that one dude did about the new album. My new album was critiqued, and at least he wasn't overly harsh about it. But when he said that, oh, you tried to harmonize your voice. No, there was no trying that. I pretty much did. And it wasn't a demo, it was my entire album. That was just one person's opinion. So, and his opinion on it wasn't that bad. So, and that's really what you get when you put your music and your art out there, is you're going to get, what I'm saying, you're going to get constructive criticism, and some of it, some people are going to react differently to it. I get people who hit me up all the time now. They're like, dude, the new album kicks ass. You know what I'm saying? And I made that album available for free on SoundCloud. I made a video about it, so it's available to listen to for free. If you look up KINGCOBRAJFS on SoundCloud, you should be able to find Trails of the Abyss. But the title of this live stream is Why. That word gets used a lot, doesn't it? But why is that? Because humans will often question their actions or the actions of others. They will often question their decision or other people's decisions. And sometimes you're not exactly going to see eye to eye on certain things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I consider the sport of shooting to be a safe and responsible hobby, as in you use your gun safely and treat it like a hobby. You know what I'm saying? It's just so relaxing. You go out to the range and you safely shoot your gun at a non-animate target. You know what I'm saying? Having a couple of target guns, nothing wrong with that. But I really don't need more than two, honestly. I don't see the need. You know what I'm saying? And the way my dad was going off, he was acting like I was going to start buying a shit ton of guns. And it's like, no, hold on a second. Hold the phone, Sylvester Stallone. I'm not going to read the emails that me and my dad have been sending each other back and forth the last couple of days. But I'll give you just very bare, basic details to give you an idea. And this isn't to talk shit on me or my dad. Okay, let's get that out of the way right now. Okay. But the way my dad worded the emails, he acted like I was going to start buying a shit ton of guns. And it's like, look, I have a BB gun and I have a pistol and I have a shotgun. I'm content with that. Like, I don't need to have a shit ton of guns. I don't see the need for it unless I have my mansion. And if I had my 20 acres with my mansion, then I would have a shooting range to go with it, obviously. And I'd be making shooting videos on the regular. Just pan off with the fucking cell phone camera. Look at that, off in the distance. There's the clock tower looking sexy as ever. And I'm back over here. Look what I'm doing. What up, YouTube? This is what I'm shooting today. And I would totally do it like that. Videos of me playing my Carillion in my clock tower. Oh, the YouTube content would get so much cooler if I got my dream house. And at this point, anything's possible. I mean, I'm not talking shit, but Trump's president. So people think that the idea of me winning the fucking lottery is crazy. Crazier things have happened. Mr. Edgar Allan Political. And Trump gets it. He's a gunman. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Trump loves guns. I'm just saying. Like, I actually feel bad for Trump, believe it or not. He gets bullied on social media pretty hard. And I can kind of relate to that, but probably not on his level. I mean, I get bullied on social media and by random assholes all the time. They send me stupid shit in the mail. And I just, I laugh about it because it's like, whatever. But this dude, I mean, but to be fair, when you're making stupid decisions that offend people, I mean, here's Donald Trump on his campaign. Nobody supports the LGBT community more than me, Donald J. Trump. And as soon as he gets into office, he says that transgendered individuals are no longer allowed to serve in the military. And I'm not trans, I'm not gay, I'm not any of those things, but I support gay men because that's more pussy for me. You know what I'm saying? And I support lesbians too because you get a hot pair of lesbians fucking in front of you. That shit's, you know what I'm saying? And the idea that a heterosexual man can wear makeup and be comfortable in their goth skin, it unnerves people. But the question is, why does it unnerve people? It's because they see it that I'm not afraid to be myself, that I have confidence in who I am as an individual. And instead of them being like, okay, well, maybe I should take that as inspiration and figure out who I am as a person, instead of hating on this autistic because he's not afraid to be himself, in a very judgmental society at that. I guess you could say people are triggered by the idea of me owning a pistol. That was a horrible pun, but I went for it. Oh, shit. Chair's a little bit close. Fucking smacked my knee. That felt fantastic. Oh. See, normally something like that would have pissed me off, smacking my knee like that, but I'm just like, no, man, I gotta have a better attitude about little things like that. Like little things like smacking my knee on my desk. That didn't feel too good, but like coming unglued about it, it's just, ugh. Well, speaking of wands, oh, look at that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wands in my batch so far. The blue one dried very nicely. Here's the newest wand to the batch. The blue one that I was working on. That looks very nice. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a purple one, a white and black one, a black and white one, and that crystal scepter. That would make 10 wands for the batch. And you can get good quartz crystal if you know where to look. For making something like this, for instance. This is a wicked staff that I made for myself. There is a stick underneath this, but I padded it with certain things. Oh. If you want a better example of quartz crystal, hold on a second. I got something. Oh, shit. Knocked this off the wand rack, but that's all right. This is one of my carry wands that dried very nicely. Get back up there. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on a second. My signed picture of Ozzy came off the fucking wand rack. I had it hanging up there and it just came off. Nope. No disrespect to the Godfather of metal. I'll get back up there. Thank you. Well, I'm superstitious about that shit. What? Are you fucking kidding me? As soon as I moved my chair, it knocked this larger staff into my wand rack, and it knocked that wand off again. God damn it. That's just fucking fantastic, isn't it? Little shit like this, okay, you shrug it off. I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, you can preach it, but can you actually practice it? Back up there. There we go. Now, if you want an example of a real quartz crystal, this would be it right here. This is a real quartz rock. Now, I took this stick, drilled a hole in it to make it fit the crystal nice and snug, so that when I pulled it out, it took some elbow grease to pull it out. I put a dab of Gorilla Glue into the hole, and then I push it snugly back into the hole. I let it dry, and then I took a strip of leather and wrapped it around the bottom half of it right here. And then I took some polish, some wood stain, and I made it shiny. Didn't use any paint. But this quartz crystal was purchased by me when I went to the Reptile Gardens in Nemo, South Dakota. That's a cool little zoo if you ever get a chance to check it out. Got to see a couple of cobras. That's pretty sick. I mean, I've been there a couple of times, and their gift shop has these little quartz crystals. They're not too expensive. If you ever get a chance to see the crystal caves, they're in the Black Hills. It's like these giant fucking steps. They just send into the underground, and you go into this cavern, and it's just crystals everywhere. It's insane. Now I'm gonna have to move this giant snake staff somewhere else, because it's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's knocking shit off my wand rack, and I can't have that. I got a nice collection. I got a nice personal collection of wands I've made for myself, and they're all sitting nice and neat on this candlestick mirror as a wand rack. And I feel like, I mean, this is a cool staff, don't get me wrong. I didn't make this. Someone else made this. It's pretty legit. I'm going to move it over here somewhere so it's not like right next to the desk. There we go, right next to my desk here. So that way it's not knocking my wands off my wand rack, as I call it. Because every time I bump the chair, and the chair would hit that staff, and then, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly my point, is why deal with the headache of continuously knocking your wands off the wand rack and picking it back up, and then this and that, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, why not just move this ginormous, gorgeously carved snake staff that someone else made and put it somewhere where it's not going to be in the way, and at the same time, it's not going to be knocking shit over. Like right here is a pretty good spot for it. There we go. That way, I'm not going to knock it over when I walk by it. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, because I scooched the chair back. Like even the pool stick, even my pool stick is not that long. This is my billiard stick, and it's black and green, as you can see. And right there on the bottom of the handle of my pool stick, you can see a wizard carrying a wand. I'm not sure what company makes these awesome pool sticks, but yeah, and you notice that not only is my pool stick black and green, but there's a snake scale pattern on it. It's a pretty wicked looking snake scale pattern. The only thing my pool stick needs is a pool tip and some glue to glue it on, and that's easy enough to get. I don't play pool very often, so I haven't been too worried about it. Really, that's the only thing wrong with it. And this is a professional pool cue, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty sweet. And then, of course, right next to the pool stick and my staff, I got this magnificent bastard right here that I hand painted with some spray paint. I was walking around with this cane when I first got it, and then the head came off. I'm like, really? So I took it home, put some tin foil on the inside, and some Gorilla Glue. And after the Gorilla Glue and the tin foil, I squeezed it back into place and tightened it so it was tight as fuck. And then I let it dry, and now this thing supports my weight just fine. And after I glued it into place, I repainted it black and green, and it looks sick as fuck. I mean, it's missing an eye, but other than that, other than missing an eye, other than missing the right eye, which really isn't that big of a deal. Yeah. Another question you can ask is, why make your life more difficult than it needs to be? And this is another reason why I'm trying to work on my temper. It's because having a temper will make your life difficult. Your friends will look at you like, whoa, okay, wait a second. Girls aren't going to want to approach you. You know, it's like girls are not going to approach you if you have a hot temper. That's another thing, because they're not going to feel safe. And that's bullshit, you know. People see a large-ass autistic retard like me flipping out. It's like, whoa, shit, watch out. Retard strength alert. Ugh. And let's just, you know, after all the crap I've put up with up to this point, all the bullshit and the drama, looking back on it, I feel stupid for flipping out over little things. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much more in my life I could have flipped out about, more serious things, you know. More dramatic things, I should say. More dramatic than just stubbing your toe or, you know, mispronouncing your words incorrectly or fucking up on a guitar song. You know. It's not much cherry pipe tobacco, but it's enough to get me by for a bit. And I feel it didn't like break it to where it's gonna leak, but it dented it, gave it some character. You know what I'm saying? Like, this flask fell off my desk, and I got mad and started bashing it against the side of the wall because it didn't stay up there. And, well, it's a nice flask now. It's got these dents in it. And I'm hoping I didn't break it to where it starts leaking, and I don't think I did. It's got a couple of dents in it, a couple of finger dents to where I can just hold it like that, I guess. But I don't know. There comes a certain point, YouTube. There comes a certain point in your life where, you know, you start asking yourself, when's the last time, you know what I'm saying, like, you start asking yourself, okay, this is where losing my temper over stupid shit gets me. A dent in my nice flask. It looks like shit. I'm not gonna like kind of straighten it out a little bit, but I don't know, getting that Facebook ban, my phone falling out of my pocket. Not exactly the best of weeks, but you know, it is what it is, YouTube. Struggles could be worse, but that doesn't mean that I don't struggle. I mean, everyone struggles to some extent. Donald Trump may be super rich and he may be the president, yes, but look at all the crap he has to put up with. All the hatred, all the attacks on social media. So some people might make that argument that, oh, well, rich people don't suffer because they have a lot of money. And not necessarily, to be honest, YouTube. I mean, they may suffer in different ways. And that's just the thing of it, is that every human suffers differently to some extent. I actually do not want to try clamping that on the vice clamps to straighten it out, just because I'm afraid it'll break the seam on the side of it. I want to pour some water in it just to make sure it doesn't leak. Okay. I wiped all the water off the side of it from filling it up, and well, that dent doesn't really affect it that much because it's not leaking. So that can just serve as a reminder. That little dent on the side of my flask can serve as a reminder of, you know, what doing stupid shit with your temper does. I mean, who does this? Like flipping out because a flask falls on the floor and then banging it against the wall. Like autism or not, you know, I mean, it's a nice flask and now it's got these ugly ass dents in it. Like, God damn it. Didn't really affect it as far as leaking. I mean, it's solid, it's not leaking, which is good. But now it just looks kind of worn down a little bit, like it's been used. No, but when I asked to see the handgun that I purchased that's in my leather holster that I keep on my Harley Davidson belt, just picking it up, it felt like, you know, hey, this is a comfortable gun to hold. It's got a nice amount of weight to it. I'm looking for a pistol, and it's about a fair price point, you know. And it was like taking me back to that time when I first saw Tombstone. Doc Holliday and all the good guys would save the day using their pistol, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, fuck yeah, dude. And it's my two favorite colors. I mean, come on. You know, I was going to get a Colt Cobra 38 special and have them restain it black and then pull the red side out for a green one. But that would have been extra money, and those fuckers are like $600 some odd dollars, $700 to begin with. This is a 38 special that's already black and green and didn't cost extra to paint or nothing, so you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I shouldn't have to fucking explain myself here, but at the same time, yeah. You know, this video is gonna help, you know. Fuck suicide, because the way Chester, the lead singer of Linkin Park, the way his suicide affected me as a fan, and so many other fans and his family all across the world and what have you. Now imagine that pain condensed into a much smaller circle. because that's what it would be if I did something stupid. So that's why I'm not going to do it. It doesn't matter how miserable I may be. It's not worth making my friends, my family, and my fans that much more miserable, because that's exactly what suicide does. It makes your friends, your family, and if you're a YouTube celebrity, your fans miserable. You know what I'm saying? So fuck that noise. I'm tired of fucking mass shootings, man. I really am. Like, I've had it up to here with it, man. You know, what must people think of Americans when they hear about it? Another mass shooting in America. It's no different with the Muslim situation. People think, oh, Americans and their guns, right? Or people will sit there and say, oh, Muslims and their bombs, right? And here's the thing, not every Muslim's like that. Like, there are millions of Muslims who practice their belief peacefully, but a couple assholes ruin it. And this is no different with guns, unfortunately. All I can do is own my guns responsibly and safely, you know? And when some shit goes down on social media and I hear about people being dumb fucks, I want to bitch about it. I mean, people want to blame guns for the problem, but how the fuck is this going to hurt anything or shoot anything without bullets? So if you want to be technical, blame the bullets. But then again, don't, because blaming inanimate objects, because the bullet sitting by itself isn't going to do anything. It takes a human hand to operate it. Therefore, when I say guns don't kill people, people kill people. A lot of people get tired of me saying it, but it's the fucking truth. Because people are the ones that invented guns in the first place. You see people going, well, we need to ban screwdrivers. Why is that? Well, because some asshole stabbed some other asshole in the hand with it. Well, so he was being an asshole. Screwdrivers are useful, you know. Some people collect cameras. Some people collect guns. Some people collect tobacco pipes. Some people collect rocks. I'm not looking to start a collection until I get my dream house. Right now, I'm very much content with the two that I have. And that was initially my plan, was to limit myself to no more than two. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't go out shooting very often, and having too many guns stacked up in here, people will be like, okay, what the fuck you preparing for? But it's my Second Amendment right as an American citizen. And if I've owned my side-by-side shotgun without any fucking incident for this long, what makes you think owning the pistol is going to be any different? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to end up emailing this video to my dad, the link to this video, so he can watch it, you know, because this is just way too much to say and type on one keyboard, and that keyboard's slow as shit. You know, I get hit with a Facebook ban that I didn't deserve. I get smacked with a cold that I didn't want, and then my phone falls out of my fucking pocket and breaks. You know, shit happens. Otherwise, we wouldn't poop, right? And, you know, it is irritating to a degree, YouTube, but the thing I realize is this kind of crap happens to people all the fucking time. You know, people get the extreme assholes ruining it for their side of the story. People have to deal with being clumsy, stupid, and, you know, stuttering and mixing up their words and not saying things correctly. And if you spell things incorrectly or you say things a certain way, or, you know, it doesn't take much for people to troll you anymore. Like, if you say a word and you meant to say something else, you know, if you say a word incorrectly, if you spell a word incorrectly, or if your guitar playing, you make one little mistake on your guitar playing, or you're heavily autistic and you're goth and not afraid to be yourself, people can damn near troll you for anything. And it's just sad when the people trolling me have no life. And here I am on YouTube with 6,000 to 7,000 subscribers. So keep talking shit. You're only making me more famous. I've attempted suicide in the past before, and I failed every time. And maybe I failed for a reason. I don't know what it is, but I'm kind of curious to find out. You know, you never know with life sometimes, man. It's unpredictable. You could have something like, you could have 3 different incredibly shitty things happen. You could have like 3 different incredibly shitty things happen. Your phone breaks, you get a cold, you get a Facebook ban. That's life, you know. That's life. If people want to call me a snowflake because I put people in timeout on my live stream, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna let my moderators do that for me. I'm not going to read most of the comments. And I'm not going to tell you when I get a new phone. It's going to be the same number, but I'm not going to tell you when I get a new phone. I'm just going to try to make that happen. And I'm pretty sure if I go through the cell phone account that I have at the mall, if I buy a used iPhone at a much cheaper price and then have them just transfer everything to the new phone, that won't cost me a thing. It's a lot cheaper than buying a brand new one. Maybe spend a little, be careful with it, you know, and maybe spend a couple extra bucks and get a case for it that'll make it, you know, damn near indestructible. Which I think when I get my next phone, I'm going to invest in a case for it that's going to make it hard to break, because that's needed for my clumsy ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate the fact that I'm clumsy, but, and that's another reason why my dad's, you know, worried about me owning guns, because I'm clumsy, I have a temper, and the combination of the two don't mix very well. That's another reason why, you know, I'm working on my temper here, is because I'm clumsy. And you notice that when you get pissed off at your clumsy mistakes, you only become more clumsy. And it's like, oh, what the shit? But that's life, man. That is so life in a fucking nutshell. And it sucks, but it's the goddamn truth. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like if you say you're going to quit smoking tobacco, but that's when life is like, oh, okay, I'll put you to the test. That's when life gives you the shittiest day you ever had. That's when life is like, oh, you're going to quit smoking? Huh, that's funny. How long you been smoking? 10 years? Okay, whatever. Hypothetical. But this is to explain my point. If you're someone who's been smoking for 10 years and you're trying to quit, that's when life's like, okay, I'm going to hand this person the shittiest day they've had in a long ass time. I'm going to make them want a cigarette. Guarantee you. Ask anybody who's tried to quit. That's exactly how it goes. And people gripe on me about my tobacco and alcohol. You need to quit doing that. It's bad for your health. You got one life. Enjoy it. Have a couple drinks. Smoke some fine tobacco. Don't stress shit. It's literally that simple. I try not to stress shit. You know, I can go a couple of days without stressing it for the most part, but then eventually it builds up. And then when it gets to be too much, that's when I gotta be like, okay, I gotta make a video or talk to somebody, because this is some bull honky. I mean, all these people, and this is like people fucking snorting condoms and eating Tide Pods for a YouTube challenge. People bragging about the mass shootings are gonna pull through Instagram and shit. It's just disgusting. The society we live in, these idiot millennials, and here's the thing of it. Not all millennials are clueless, stupid, and dumb, but the ones that aren't, like I said earlier, you know, about how assholes ruin it for everybody. I'm sure millennials get tired of people saying shit about them that isn't true, but most of them are just trying to work hard and get by in life like the rest of us. But they dumbasses, I seen the story on CNN a couple months ago. This couple has survived the Las Vegas shooting, and that warmed my heart a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then, only to die in a fucking car crash 2 weeks later. And that just made me go, man, that's weak. That is seriously fucking weak. Could you imagine? Again, no disrespect to the couple who passed, but could you imagine YouTube surviving the Las Vegas shooting? You know, and if you're married to someone, that would only make your love stronger. Like you survived a horrific mass shooting, that would make your love stronger for one another. So not only would it make your love stronger for one another, but you grow closer as a couple more than likely. And only to die in a fucking car crash 2 weeks later, that just, shows you. It just goes to show you how unpredictable life is. Ugh. No, if I get too stuffed up, I'll eat some spicy food that'll clear me right out. But pushing through a cold for a couple of days, Luckily, I have a very healthy immune system. Yes, I do smoke in my apartment, but I keep the ashtrays empty. Not only do I keep the ashtrays empty, but I keep the window open when I smoke tobacco in my apartment, so that way the smell doesn't fog out. I love the smell of tobacco, but not everyone's going to be a fan of it. So, yeah, keeping that window wide open when I smoke in my apartment is a lifesaver because you can't even smell it. I'm not even that stuffed up. I can still smell things. Excuse me. You could probably find a decent used iPhone for $100 to $200, like an iPhone 6 or 7, maybe. I don't know. But what I do know is I should be getting money from Teespring. And a little bit of money towards my account can go towards the phone. Let's see. Log into my Teespring and check it real quick. Well, the $5 I transferred to my bank account made it over. So I can do laundry in like 2 days. Because I'll be there for that. But it could take anywhere from 4 to 7 business days for Teespring to, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't prepared for that last troll gift that I got, and I had to leave the video of me opening it. And to be fair, I didn't react to it overly dramatic. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't like freak out about it. I was like, this is gross and lame, and I threw it away. So the fact that these trolls would waste their money and waste Teespring's time just to fucking get at me, you know what I'm saying? Just shows you how famous I am. Yes, indeed. Why would trolls make an inappropriate t-shirt that I would not want to see and send it to me? Because the answer is why? Why? The answer is because they want a reaction. They think it's funny. Sending me a picture with a friend of mine on the front of it. Now, my buddy Alex Campbell is a registered porn star. He told me this, whether I wanted to hear it or not. I says to him, good for you, bro. You're getting your life together. Hell yeah, you can make some decent money doing it. Just be smart, you know? And I didn't know he had a fucking profile set up because he didn't tell me, because that's just not the kind of thing I want to know. Someone took a screenshot from his profile, printed it on a Teespring t-shirt, and sent it to me. I wanted to pour hydrogen peroxide in my eyes after seeing that. The stuff in the brown bottle that burns like hell? Yeah. Like, whoever did that's going to have a shit ton of bad karma coming their way. I tell you that right now. You want to call me a loser and this and that. You want to call me names in the comment section. That's fine. But when you're trolling me, trolling my friends, and trolling my family, and when you're trolling people I know just to get at me, that's kind of crossing the line. Like, some of these people that obsessively fuck with me need serious mental help. I rule their sad, miserable lives. I swear to God, it's like they sit in their fucking mom's basement, the stank of unwashed socks and empty bags of chips, empty cans of soda, this sweaty fat ass sitting behind a keyboard going, how am I going to fuck with this autistic now? Or I'll show him. How dare he be confident in himself? That was pretty funny. We fucked with him again. It's like, okay, you could be doing something productive with your life. You could be getting a hobby. But instead, you're attacking me because I'm not afraid to be myself. What does that show to you? It shows you're jealous of me and that you're insecure with who you are as a person. Otherwise, you wouldn't attack somebody else who isn't. That's why. Oh, nothing happened. I just started a live stream with the simple 3-letter word, why. My dad asked the question, why would you need another gun? Of course, my dad doesn't like guns, so he's not going to get it, you know. I'm not a photographer, so when my dad collects more cameras, I don't understand it, but I don't belittle him for it. And of course, if I use that argument, my dad would say, well, cameras don't kill people, Josh, guns can. And I could say, well, the flash on a camera could trigger someone's epilepsy, but that's a stretch. And again, I'm not here to argue with my dad, you know. I just know that as soon as I showed my pistol off on YouTube, my dad instantly found out. And of course, he was not happy about it because, one, he cares about me. Two, he's worried that I'm going to do something stupid, which I'm not, you know. And he has every right to care. He's my father. But at the same time, when, you know, you're lecturing me about buying it when the money was given to me via YouTube, I wasn't using money I wasn't supposed to buy it. The donations came to me through YouTube. You know, it's not like I took my SSDI money and purchased it. No. Okay, these were donations that came in from YouTube, and I had a friend I owed $200 to. I paid her off legitly. And that's how people know I'm good on my word. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ask anybody I've borrowed from, I get them back every fucking time. You know, I like the movie Tombstone. I've always wanted a revolver or a pistol of some sort. And 1911 was a bit out of my price range at the moment. And I seen a black and green pistol that was in my price range. And it was the only black and green pistol in the entire case of pistols. Every other pistol was just either a really shiny blue, purple, pink, regular black, or silver. That was the only black and green gun in the entire fucking case. So like, it stood out to me. It was like saying, hey, hey, hey. And people can talk shit all they want. Oh, 38 special. That's just a granny gun. The United States police departments and detectives would use 38 specials, and they've used them for a long ass time. So 38 special is good enough for detectives, and it's good enough for me. Has a little bit less kick than a 45, so it's a bit more manageable. A little bit more kick than a 9mm. So, nice little balance. I don't need to get heavy loads for it, just something basic and simple. I'm not looking to get the heaviest, hardest, like basically the small game equivalent for 38 special ammunition. That's what I get. Because again, I live in an apartment complex. I don't need bullets that penetrate walls. I need bullets that stop the intruder. You know what I'm saying? And I keep my guns empty unless I have to use them. That's just gun safety fucking 101. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. When people are worried that I'm going to commit suicide or pull a mass shooting, fuck that shit, dude. Fuck that mass shooting bullshit. And fuck suicide for that matter, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're having a bad fucking day, go hang out with some friends, bullshit for a bit, listen to music, do something, you know. Between dealing with a cold, my phone being broke, the Facebook ban, now my dad's chewing my Asperger's about buying a pistol. It's like, I was starting to get pissy about it, and I said, you know what? Oh, shit. I just noticed that when I went to go make my bed earlier, some of my shit fell off. Hold on a second. There we go. I've seen a deal sitting on the floor was a mild OCD moment. Anybody else do that? You make your bed when you get up in the morning. Some people don't do that. Some people think, what's the point? You're just going to ask yourself, why would you make your bed when getting up in the morning? When you're just going to sleep in it the following night, mess it up again. I don't know, just not that it matters. I mean, it just looks better, I guess. I don't know. See, growing up, I was taught to make your bed and respect your elders. Kids these days don't have that. I may be a gothic-looking punk with long-ass fucking hair, but guess what? I respect my elders. For the most part. I mean, my dad's not extremely old for one, and two, he's not extremely old, and for one, and two, that's no excuse. I'm just saying that me and my dad are going to have disagreements. It's part of being in a father-son relationship. I'm sure my dad did things that his dad disagreed with and such. It's just part of that cycle. You know, and you can spend your life bitching and arguing about it, you know, or you could just kind of take it with a grain of salt, you know. I mean, I understand why my dad was bitching because, you know, he would chip in a little extra money to help cover my rent. Or not my rent, excuse me. My rent and groceries are already covered through my SSDI because of my Asperger's. It's something I'm internally grateful for. Worst case comes to worse, you know. But the internet and the phone is extra. Internet's like $50, $60 a month. And phone is like about the same. So if worse came to worse, I would probably pick having phone service over internet because, quite honestly, you know what I'm saying? But if I made a bunch of wands on the regular and sold them like every 2 weeks, I was trying to crank out at least 10 wands. Avoid making crystal scepters for the most part because they take longer. Just the basic ones. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that my parents would do that kind of thing, knowing that, okay, he can't afford to pay for internet and phone, that's extra. Like, his SSDI already covers everything else, you know? So I can understand why they're, like, a little upset that I bought a pistol because they care about me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it probably makes me look like a shitty son, but you know what? There you go. You can think of me what you want. So if I end up losing my internet and my phone, so be it. You know, at least my basics are covered. Right now, if people want to get a hold of me, it's like, okay, they have to basically come to my apartment, which is kind of a pain in the ass if they got places to be and shit to do. So I could probably find a used iPhone 6 for like 6 or 7 for like $200-300, maybe. That's maybe. But I'll look around and get some money together. You know, pull some strings. It wouldn't cost me anything to transfer all the stuff from my old phone to the new one. But yeah. Irritating just taking just a couple of pepperonis out of the packet and just eating them. I really don't feel like cooking anything at the moment. I'm not hungry, but go for another cup of this water. But why would you go for another cup of water? Because I'm thirsty. So I guess the title of this live stream is Why. And it's a very appropriate title. Why is that? Because I talk about a lot of things on this live stream. Why buy a handgun? Because you never know what these trolls are going to do next. And not saying I'm paranoid about them stalking me and trying to attack me in my apartment or anything, because I don't think they hate me that much. But it doesn't hurt to be prepared, you know. And my only argument is if I've owned my double-barrel shotgun for well over 5 years with no incidents, what makes you think it's going to be any different with my pistol? I mean, I could get a phone if I returned my pistol, but I like my pistol, so I'm not going to return it. If that results in certain things happening, then so be it. I can only imagine what the comments on this are going to be. I'm not going to eat them all because I want some for a pizza that I'll make later on. But Josh eats like a scavenger dog. Josh eats food like an abused animal. Some of those comments, man, holy shit. And usually it is something that requires no cooking whatsoever. 2 slices of Swiss. 2 slices of bread. I mean, if I wanted to melt it in the microwave, I probably could, but yeah. Some pepperoni, some mozzarella cheese on top of that Swiss. Now that's a cheese sandwich. There we go. I'm gonna nuke that for a bit. Now, of course, watch where I throw my chi, huh? Holy shit. I didn't break the huge ass staff, did I? No, I did not. Okay. Of course, when I said when I wasn't hungry, I'm full of shit. I haven't eaten all fucking day. I usually do like one thing a day. That way I'm not gaining an excessive amount of weight. Maintaining that sexy figure for the ladies was really good. And look at these abs. Oh, yeah. check this out. I put it in there for 1:34, and then right about 40 seconds left to go, I pull it out because that cheese is nice and melted. Like you can see, that cheese is all nice and melted. This right here, oh fuck, it's hot, fresh out of the microwave. Yeah. Just a basic cheese sandwich, nothing too fancy. Yeah. This right here is easy as fuck to make. There's that cross section, baby. But why did you make this sandwich? Oh, because I'm hungry. But all I could fit on that sandwich was 4 pepperonis. On top of that Swiss, a sprinkle of that mozzarella cheese on top of the pepperoni. Just a little bit of mozzarella on top of that pepperoni. That pepperoni sits on top of the Swiss cheese. Piece of fucking piss to throw together, man. String pull, baby. Look at that. Look at that string pull, YouTube. This is how you make a cheese sandwich, ladies and gentlemen. That's like almost as long as a guitar string. Like, oh man, those licks were so cheesy. I know, right? And it finally broke. Like there's people on fucking YouTube who are like, oh, those nachos weren't very cheesy, blah, blah, blah. Fuck them. So I might even just send, I might, you know, I might even send this video. Just gonna post it on my YouTube and leave it. And when you don't eat that much, you learn to get full off of less. Makes the food go longer or last longer. At least now my stomach's not going, what the fuck, you asshole? People get emotional when they get hungry. They get sagry. They get hangry. They get emotional agree. There's so many agrees that people get when they get hungry, and it's like, yeah, it's understandable. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies. After a delicious cheese sandwich like that, loading up the pipe with some fresh pipe tobacco. And it's like I said before, the simple art of enjoying some good pipe tobacco. You know, you don't have to really think or say anything. You can just sit here and, you know, enjoy. That age-old expression, put that in your pipe and smoke it. That cherry pipe tobacco, though. This one's not as moist as the black Cavendish, so it lights better. I've already shown my pistol off enough on YouTube that people get the idea. I don't need to keep showing it off. It's right here in its holster where it needs to be, you know, out of sight, out of mind. And of course, my dad was like, "Is that even legal? Where'd you get it?" Discount Sports, and yes, it's legal. Like, do you really think I'm going to be stupid enough to buy a gun off the black market? Come on. Illegally purchasing firearms is not a smart move, slick. So if you're going to be a responsible, law-abiding citizen, then yeah, why not? You want to purchase a firearm? You got the money for it? Yeah, sure. You know. Now I sand all the finish off the billiard, and it's turning black naturally. No need to stain it or anything, just sanding it smooth and then letting it stain black naturally. Fuck suicide when you can smoke some pipe tobacco. Sit back, load your pipe up with some good tobacco, and you know. Although trying to smoke any sort of tobacco when you have a cold is not going to help you get over it faster necessarily, but it might help you cough all that mucus out of your system a lot quicker. So why would you smoke your pipe? 1, I enjoy the nicotine. 2, it smells like cherry. 3, it tastes like cherry. And 4, you get done eating a delicious cheese sandwich. It's like a smoke after you eat. That's just, how it is. And if you got a powerful enough microwave, you can make that sandwich pretty easily. It doesn't require like 4-star culinary training to make. It's a fucking cheese sandwich microwaved in a microwave. I mean, some basic common sense, but other than that, It's hard to have faith in humanity when all this crap happens, but yeah, focus on it too much and then it doesn't get to you, And that's really what it's all about. I mean, like, and anything, not just the bullshit in life, but the trolls and the little things like stubbing your toe or mispronouncing a word or playing a chord wrong on your guitar or having a string snap on you. These are all just part of everyday life. And even if every last one of my trolls stopped harassing me completely, they'd move on and find somebody else. That's just the sad nature of it. Is these people do not care how pathetic it makes them look. In fact, I'm sure a lot of them do care how pathetic it makes them look. That's why they hide behind fake accounts on social media. Is because in real life, some of these people are probably like, yo. Some people do it because they're dickholes and they got nothing better to do. They pick on people who are a little bit different. Some people do it because they just love being assholes. Some people do it because they're fucking around trying to get a rise, But some of these people probably feel like shit for doing it, so that, So then why do it? If you feel like shit for trolling somebody with autism or picking on somebody because they're a little bit different, if you're hiding behind a fake account because you're afraid to show your true identity, why? Because you're a piece of shit and you don't want nobody finding out what you look like? Oh, that's why. Because some of the things, this pipe's getting hot, doggies. Some of the things that trolls have done to people in the past, bullying people to commit stupid acts. And it's unfortunate when teens are bullied into suicide. It really is. Or anyone in general, fuck that noise. And if you're being bullied or harassed, don't commit suicide. Don't let them win like that, It's unfortunate, YouTube, but there are some assholes out there who get a thrill out of pushing people to that point. And if you're the kind of person that gets the thrill out of harassing people to the breaking point, it just goes to show you what a sad, pathetic piece of shit you are. And how sad and miserable is your fucking life that you're going to pick on somebody and bully them to the breaking point. And if you stop and ask yourself, how would you feel if that was happening to you or happening to somebody that you cared about? Bullying was a lot easier to deal with before the internet because nowadays a kid's going to school, he's getting bullied. A kid goes on social media, he gets bullied. A kid goes home, maybe they get bullied by an older sibling. And so if there's no escape for it, it's easy to see why some of these people do the things that they do, you know. But you have to tell yourself that you're better than them. And if you got a brother or sister bullying you at home, you got some punk ass talking shit at you at school, and the teachers ain't doing shit, your parents ain't doing shit. And then you go to fucking social media and you're getting bullied and harassed, and people fucking, you flag that person's account just like the social media page tells you to. If you're being bullied, report it. We'll deal with it. Yeah, right. YouTube is just like high school in that aspect. High school has its cliques, and YouTube has its channels. Basically, it's the same fucking thing. Same fucking thing. You get people who are like, okay, I did what this person's representing, so I want to follow them. It's the same fucking concept in high school, man. You got this group of people who are like, this is how we roll. It's the same concept on YouTube. You got the gamers, the goths, the nerds, the preppies. All that exists on YouTube, and then they all coexist, reviewing different products, trying out different video games. With YouTube, it's understandable. Like, YouTube doesn't really give a shit about the bullying, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot they can do because so many people are creating all these fake accounts to troll other people. And then you get these people who create accounts just to comment on other people's stuff. And then you get the select few that create accounts just to create content. You know what I'm saying? So you got all these people creating accounts, and that's a lot of fucking people, man. So for a team of people to monetize that entire website with all these accounts takes a lot of man hours, a lot of human resource. You know what I'm saying? So that I can understand. And it's very similar to the high school thing. If quite often there are going to be more students than there are going to be teachers, a very small basic student body of 2,000 some odd students maybe, and then there's like maybe 10 or 11 teachers plus 2 janitors and a principal. So if the adult population is outweighed by the student population, quite often the biggest thing that helps bullies out in school especially is quite often you see it on YouTube as well. People are getting bullied in the comment section, or people getting bullied and harassed for just producing videos. And people like you and me who use YouTube regularly will see this kind of thing. We'll see people getting bullied and picked on, and a lot of us are going to be like, I don't want a shit ton of trolls harassing me, so I'm not going to stand up for that person. And it's the same thing in high school. Like, people will see students getting bullied and not stand up for that person because they don't want to get bullied too. And if anything, that's only going to create and make things worse. Growing up in high school when I was bullied, I didn't really get stood up for. Like, no one stood up for me. I had to fight my own goddamn battles. I had to fight my own goddamn battles when I got bullied in high school. But as soon as I bullied somebody else in high school, the very same school that didn't do shit for me when I got bullied said, well, you couldn't do it to this person. Fuck your double standards, dude. I mean, I'm over it, but I'm just fucking saying, like, I remember shit like that. And I'm just like, dude, really? I mean, I have a disability. That kid had a fucking disability. What made him more special than me? Fuck you. And that kid would pester me while I'm trying to do my fucking work. So it's like, okay, I got an obnoxious shithead pestering me while I'm trying to do my schoolwork. So yeah, I want to bully the little fucker back. And then I'm the one that gets in trouble for it. Yeah, I see how this works. But here's the thing. Everybody gets treated unfairly in society. It's not just me, Everybody will have some form of unfair treatment happening at least once or twice in their lifetime. Is it fair that people get treated like shit? No, it's not. Can you do anything about it? Not really. You're not in control of everybody else's actions. You're in control of your own. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? So you can't really control what people are going to say and do to you on social media or in school. You know what I'm saying? All you can do is control how you react to it. And I used to get pretty pissy with these trolls, but over the years, it's gotten a lot better. I've learned to deal with it. And Otherwise, I wouldn't be getting so many subscribers because nobody wants to watch somebody flip out on camera over stupid shit. Like, it gets entertaining for a minute, and then it kind of loses its appeal when that's all that person does, you know. Occasionally, they want somebody to root for. When they see the underdog who's getting picked on and bullied on YouTube and social media and what have you, not letting a single goddamn thing get to him, it's encouraging, you know. It makes people stop and say, "Wow, okay, this dude's got autism. He's putting himself out there, not giving a shit what these assholes have to think or say," you know. And I get talked a lot of shit on for wearing goth makeup, for being confident in my goth self. I've had people call me a faggot. I've had people call me a tranny, this and that, just every fucking name in the book. People use that as a fucking insult on me and people like me who dress a certain way because they think it's funny. Meanwhile, there are others out there who are struggling with their identity. And when you're using words like faggot and tranny as an insult, you're only fueling that problem. The reason why a lot of individuals don't come out is because, you know, there's still a stigma attached to it, you know. These days, society is more open towards the LGBT community, yes, but there is still a stigma attached to it where people use certain words to insult people. And if I wasn't confident in my heterosexuality or who I am as a goth, then I'd stop wearing it. I'd be like, "Oh, these haters are mean." You know what I'm saying? If I truly let what people say about me get to me, I'd stop wearing the makeup. But obviously, I don't give a shit because it's who I am. Sexy bad boy goth. What's good? You know what I'm saying? But for real though, like, these people can do this number all day, every day. I don't care anymore. I just. You know, when you accidentally break your phone and you're without a phone for a couple of days, you're pretty much forced to interact more so in life and less glued to your phone. So sometimes taking a break from your phone could be a good thing. I mean, when it fell out of my pocket, was I happy about it? No. No, I wasn't. But can I change the outcome of it? No. You know, shit happens. You know, and it's the unfortunate thing about life, man. If life were easy, it would be a slut, but it's not. So, Now, after freaking out like I did earlier over some stupid shit, I was just like, I don't, you know, and I didn't freak out on camera per se, but like just in general, you know, just dealing with drama and bullshit, arguments, a cold, and then a Facebook ban and the phone not working and being broke. It's just one thing after another, you know. And that's part of being human is we're gonna make stupid, dumbass mistakes, you know. You're eating a hot dog and you spill mustard on yourself, or you eat a hamburger and your hands are covered in grease, and then, you know, it's just shit, man. You know, I really don't know how else to put it, you know. But the question you ask yourself is why? Why flip out about it? I'll tell you why I flip out about little shit like stubbing my toe or mispronouncing my speech or, you know, shit like that. It's because I'm a perfectionist, and no one's perfect. That's just the reality of it, you know. And being a perfectionist who's also the world's biggest klutz, it's not a fun combination to say the least. But and there are some days that, you know, if I become very aware of my autism, especially when I'm having a particularly clumsy day, it's just, you know, and the self-loathing and the self-hate comes out when I don't execute things perfectly. You know, that's something I have to recognize and work on. And that's, like I said, it's personal growth. You know, it's not easy, but it can be done. Every week that goes by, I'm losing my temper over less and less things, it seems like. So I'm trying to at least make a subconscious effort. You know, all I can do is try. Fuck suicide. It's better to die the natural way. So when it is your time to go, you can at least say, well, at least I tried. Straight up. That's real talk. Fuck suicide. Go the natural way. So when you die of natural causes or whatever, you can at least say to yourself, well, at least I tried. Gave it a good run. A blessing for Durbutts and his friend Kevin. Thank you for the $2 donation. Why the gun then? Because I like this shooting is a hobby of mine, and protection from these crazy assholes that stalk me on social media, and because I like guns and because I can. So then why buy the gun? Yes, that's... Oh, you're welcome for that. Thank you for the $2 donation. Indeed, going out to the range and safely shooting your gun is very fun. You know, and like I said, I don't see the need to buy a shit ton of guns. 2 is plenty for me. Oh, and I made that shooting video, to be honest. That was the last time I went to the shooting range, was when I made that shooting video a couple weeks ago. And that was just good, clean Wyoming fun. Am I allowed to own a gun? Yes. I have a clean background, no warrants, no felonies, clean background. I keep my nose clean, you know. So owning guns is a right, or not necessarily a right, but it's also a privilege. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you have the right to bear arms, yes, but it's a right and a privilege. You feel me? Like, you know, if you're being stupid, you can have your right taken away real quickly. You can lose your privilege to have your right. A trailer is not a gun range, no. But those trailers are empty, and it's just some land that a friend of mine owned. I highly doubt this is really my dad on YouTube. I know it's not because my dad doesn't do YouTube. This is exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. The trolls love to fuck with me. It's a hobby for them. They'll pose as members of my family on social media to talk shit and comment on various videos. Like, okay, you don't like my videos? Fine, don't watch them. Why are you dragging my family into this? Why are you creating fake accounts pretending to be my family just to fuck with me on social media? Like, it's beyond me. I can't comprehend why people do that. Like, I kind of think, okay, if you hate someone that much that you're going to do that kind of thing, then why not just watch someone else's YouTube videos? Why you got to pick on that one person? You know, what makes that one person so special? Hmm. Warlord Campbell is bisexual, to answer your question, which if he's happy with it, then I'm happy for him. You know, I support my friends to a degree. That doesn't mean I want to see anything. No, bisexual means you like both men and women. It doesn't mean you're gay. Well, it means you're. Which that's the thing of it. I don't personally believe in love, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop somebody else from achieving it. Well, to a degree, you know what I'm saying? Like, if the person's coming on to me and I'm not into it, then I'm going to be like, okay, fuck off. You know what I'm saying? But like, as far as someone else's bullshit, that's their deal, not mine. There are some goths that are bi, some goths that are gay, some goths that are lesbians, some that are straight. Just because one person is goth doesn't mean they're excluded to one sexuality. That's a common cliche. And it's more so a cliche for men than it is women because people assume that if you're a dude and you wear makeup, that you're some kind of faggot or tranny, and that's not even the case for me. You know, I'm damn proud of the dick I got between my legs. Shit. To answer your question, Loasted Roaster, no, that has never happened. Am I excluded to to one sexuality? Yeah, heterosexuality. Duh. I mean, I likes the pussy. I can sit here and deny. I could try to pretend that I'm asexual, but I'd be lying to myself. Considering that if a certain chick walked into my apartment right now and took her clothes off, threw herself on the bed and said, fuck me silly, I'd do it. I'm not going to say which chick that is because it's none of y'all's business. But no, I did not just say that. I said there are sexuality exists in many different styles of life, not just goth, but preppies, nerds, geeks. I am straight. I like the pussy. I was merely trying to explain to these imbeciles that human sexuality is not defined by someone's style of clothing, nor is it defined by their choice in attire or whether or not they wear makeup. And if you can't figure that out, then you're a stupid, 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 stupid motherfucker. What up, homeboy Scotty? Is that really his YouTube channel, or is that Imposter. Someone created a YouTube account called Breakfast Burger just to leave comments on my shit. My point exactly, YouTube. Create an account mimicking my burger recipes or some sort of thing in my video. Let me make sure that is the real Scotty before I do make you a mod. No offense, but I need to verify the accounts on YouTube. Because I don't want to go to that account and have it pretend to be one of my friends, you know what I'm saying, YouTube. No offense, but like, you know. It would suck to mod a fake Scotty account. Just that would be what these trolls want. And I'm not going to give it to them. Huh. And this is how I know that YouTube account trying to tell me make me a mod, bro. Is not the real Scotty. Because Scotty calls his YouTube account Homeboy Scotty Hackman, and the person saying make me a mod, brah, calls their account. Oh wait, never mind. Homeboy Scotty Hackman. Yeah, okay, never mind. Sorry, it's late at night. Yeah, that's the real Homeboy Scotty. Yeah, I'll make him a moderator. There we go. I just looked up his account. That's Scotty. Yeah, I'm not falling for that. No shit, Scott. No shit. Using a made-up name to make it sound like somebody's saying something inappropriate. You think I'm new to this? Like, oh, that's funny. I'm rocking my favorite Teespring shirt. Rocking my new piece. Oh yeah, that looks sexy against that t-shirt. Yeah. And the reason why my dad says he doesn't fuck with YouTube is he says, and I quote, too many haters. He already gets enough of them on Facebook as it is. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying, like, disappeared off camera for a second. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, my dad gets a lot of haters, unfortunately. A lot of people talking shit because of the way I act. Like, how dare you? What kind of father are you? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, shut the fuck up, people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is not easy to raise an autistic child. And all things considered, I think my dad's been very patient with me. A lot more patient than I've been on the dating scene lately, that's for sure. Oh, ouch. Ouch. Oh, oh, that has some truthful sting to it. Oh, oh, hashtag that's just too real. But I try to have more patience on the dating scene, considering that CNN story that I read about a couple months ago. Like that changed me a little bit when I read that. I used to bitch about it all the fucking time, being single, and now I don't bitch about it as much because I realize that, you know, when you have a girlfriend, you're vulnerable. I mean, yes, you have someone to love and cherish and all that. It's awesome. Don't get me wrong. But something happens to her, you know, it's devastating just thinking about it, you know. Or like you break up because of something you did, you know, or something she did, you know. There's like a bazillion different ways where it could go horribly wrong and you don't want to think about it, but in the back of your head, you're like, and that's unfortunately my biggest problem with dating is I could have a good thing going for me with some amazing chick, and in the back of my mind, I'll be paranoid about it getting fucked up, and that's not good. You know, that's something I got to work on is realizing that if I'm lucky enough to find a smoking hot goth chick to call my own, then you know, try to relax and not overthink it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's meant to happen, it'll happen. That's the thing about life, YouTube, is that if it's meant to happen, it will happen. So even if you think you have no purpose in life, you might, you just haven't realized it yet. Even if you think you have no potential, you just might, you haven't tried yet. You haven't found your thing. Everybody has something they're good at. You know. I'm not going to lower the bar. Okay, that's another thing that pisses me off, man. It doesn't really piss me off. It makes me go, why? You know, when people say, oh, your standards are too high, you need to lower your standards. Fuck that. If that person's not going to make you happy, then why waste your time with them just for the sake of having some pussy to fuck? I mean, no, fuck that, dude. Now, can you find a girl that you're sexually and mentally attracted to? It just if works out beautifully. Yes, it can happen, but it rarely happens. And so when you have the opportunity at your fingertips, don't waste it. That's not too far from the truth, actually. I didn't feel like I fit in with society. And when I explored the Gothic side of things, here's a group that doesn't reject me and it feels natural to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yes. I'm also going to see Ozzy Osbourne this October. I'm looking forward to that. What makes me goth? My clothing, my outlook on life, my attitude in general. You already know it's going to be sick. That concert's going to be lit. Okay, that comment just got you put in fucking timeout. Fuck right off. What kind of no, dude? Like troll gets slayed. I'm not gonna bring my pistol with me to the concert because that would be stupid. I'm not even gonna repeat what he said. That's just I'm gonna worry about it. I put that person in timeout. And boom, done. Now I'm going to scooch my chair back. There we go. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else I could add to this video other than what I've already said, which is a fair amount. I mean, most of you by now are used to this kind of format where I just sit here for like an hour and a half and kind of, say some shit. But you have to be a bit more savvy on the dating scene. YouTube. If she's attractive, she's more than likely taken. That's usually how it goes. But why should I have to settle for less when I'm a goddamn YouTube celebrity? That's all I'm getting at. I'm not that bad looking. I mean, if I was a lot uglier than I am now, then I'm like, okay, you know what? That's fair. I can, but I'm not that bad looking, and I got a bit of YouTube celebrity status behind me, and I'm a decent musician. So I have a lot of attractive qualities. Because I have a lot of attractive qualities, I don't see why I shouldn't have an attractive girlfriend because that's fair. That seems logical. I mean, yeah, it sucks when you got some ugly ass chick hitting on you, and it's like, oh, dude, come on, really? You're asking life to throw you a bone, and then it's just like, what the fuck is that? I mean, and women can say that shallow all the fuck they want, but here's the thing. Flip the script. Some creepy ass fat dude you're not into. Ladies, hear me out for a second. Just hear me out for a second. Like the same women that turn around and say, "Well, how dare you judge a woman by her looks and say you're not into her because she's not your type?" That's But as soon as women are turned off by a dude, it's completely different, right? Oh, he's creepy and fat and disgusting and hairy and blah, 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 blah. Like, weren't you just giving that dude shit about how all women are created beautiful and equal, and there's nothing wrong with the natural body and human body and all this other shit? You made this huge stink about it because, men and women are hypocrites when it comes to that shit. Let's just be real with it. Women will say, oh, men are just pigs for having standards, right? But then turn around, they have standards too. Women will say men are just pigs because they're perverted, but guess what? Women are perverted too. And a lot of women will deny it out loud, but deep down inside, they're like, oh, fuck, Cobra's right. God damn it. And there's nothing wrong with having standards and being perverted. Just there's a line you don't cross, obviously, but the one thing that keeps me going is the thought of my dream house, a Victorian Second Empire mansion built with a tall ass clock tower that holds 47 bells on a carillon, and the 48th bell that swings on a rope made out of hemp. I mean, I got this house planned out, and ooh, sexy as fuck. Oh. This pipe's getting a little hot. I don't want it to cool down. I tried to let my pipe wood get too hot, so I'll switch between my pipes when I'm doing long ass live streams. Now, my tobacco pipes aren't getting extremely warm to the touch. Part of the process of emptying the cigarette butts in my ashtray is making sure they're put out and then making sure that I don't waste any tobacco. So I can usually take it and just squeeze it into my pipe like that. Quite often I'll switch between a moister tobacco and a drier tobacco if I have it. Perhaps in another live stream I'll talk about my dream house, but I don't want to go into the details of that. Believe me, my dream house is cool. And having like 20 acres to go with it would be beautiful. I'd take a bunch of maple trees, pine trees, and willows, all three of those trees fully grown, and I'd replant them all over the landscaping to create like an eerie, spooky forest around my house. I mean, there'd be a solid acre clear surrounding my house, but most of it would be peppered with trees. And I'd have a big gate surrounding the entire property made out of wrought iron and a security gate that's You punch a code in to get into the house through the front gate, and it would just cut off a certain section of that surrounding fence so that you'd have a front yard and a backyard, basically. Have like a nice cobblestone street leading to the front gate. The main gate's just an archway. Yes. I guarantee you, as soon as you saw it, you'd recognize it. You'd be like, oh, fuck. Is that giant house with the clock tower on it? Oh, shit. I wonder whose house that might be. No, but as I've said before in this video, if I built my dream house, my YouTube content would get a little bit cooler. There'd be no need for a cave or a moat, whatever the fuck. Just fuck all that. I got it all planned out in my head, and I got the plans for my dream house drawn out. I meant to say moats, but malt shakes are pretty good. People are like, you should build a moat to go with it. I'm like, a moat? Nah, not really. Doesn't really appeal to me. I'm not focused on dating right now. I'm more focused on myself and, bettering myself as a person. If I better myself as a person, I can legitly up the quality of my dating. I'm just saying, you want a higher class broad, you gotta have a higher class life. Hell yeah, that's what's up. But who knows? I might win the lottery in the next couple of months, and I'd be set. I mean, you never know what life has in store for you. You truly don't. And try to have a general goal set in mind for life, but don't think about, okay, what am I doing 10 years from now? Fuck all that. Live for the moment. Because 10 years isn't promised. Life is truly, truly unpredictable. I know the lottery is not a replacement for hard work, but that's the fun of playing, isn't it? The thought of being super stinking rich. Nope. Shit. Wrong button. God damn it. Oh wait, I unhid them. Okay, I'll actually like hide that person from my channel. I thought I hit the. Okay, yeah, there we go. Hell yeah. One person in the chat commented. One person in chat commented, in my town we have a goth night every Sunday at this bar. You'd fit right in. I thought I accidentally made that troll a moderator for a second, but then I hid them from my channel, so that, never mind, I hit the right button. Sit down with another glass of water. Now, something I like to do before retiring for the evening, as anyone would do, kick off their boots. I've had these fuckers on for a minute. kind of like they said in the play Hamilton. Yo, just for a second, can I be real for a millisecond? You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes when I'm stressing out about stupid shit, if I go to hang out with friends for a couple hours, get around people that I hang out with, you know, it always seems to brighten me up a little bit. I have a very close-knit circle of friends that I hang out with, which is always good to have. You make all the jokes you want, but my feet smell fine. They don't always stink, you know. That's another cliche that men have stinky feet, right? That we're just animals and we're gross and disgusting and we're pigs and our feet stink. Ooh. Don't you just fucking love cliches, YouTube? I couldn't be any more sarcastic if I wanted to be. Cliches ruin it for everybody. Not every cop you see is a racist, trigger-happy pig, but the ones that are, you know what I'm saying? The media doesn't really focus too much on the cops who do a good job. They tend to focus on the cops who screw things up, and they do that to kind of paint this image, and I don't like it. Not one bit. Nope. So don't believe everything the media tells you. That's the first thing I want to tell you. There's a reason why it's called TV programming. It's because they're trying to program your mind. Think about that for a second. Yeah, all these fucking advertisers fighting for your money. So it becomes a competition. Now 40% off. Now 50% off. Now 60% off. And that's what human nature is. It's competitive. From anything from just a simple sale to, oh, my car is cooler than your car, you know. And it's stupid shit. But you learn to coexist with it. Humans are just competitive creatures by nature. I mean, some women might do it with clothing, comparing it to other women's clothing, and some men might do it with their cars and their guns, but those are cliches, yes, in themselves, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, those are hypotheticals, yes, but you get what I'm saying, you know. And there's always this, like, if you like what the other person has and you're jealous of it, instead of being a judgmental asshole and talking shit on that person for having something you don't have, why not figure out how to get what that person has? And you can apply that logic to just about anything, not just nice cars and nice clothing. But like, if you're talking shit on me because, oh, you're jealous of my YouTube fame. Okay, instead of talking shit on me, why not start your own fucking channel and avoid talking shit about people unless they talk shit to you and see if it goes somewhere, you know, and stay at it, you know. You even see this shit with churches. These Jesus freaks all arguing about what's the correct way to worship Jesus or some stupid shit. Oh, yeah, you think it doesn't exist. Oh, because there's Catholics, there's Christians, there's Baptists, and Methodists, the big four, and Presbyterian and all these other random fucking, basically different ways of saying they worship Jesus because they're and you think that churches don't fight with each other. Oh, they do. Neighboring churches will argue and fight, and sometimes we get the churches that get along, and then sometimes they'll coexist, and then sometimes They'll literally just go against everything their sides teach and fight with each other. That's not how you worship him. No, 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 no. It's like, okay, again, it's a crude example, but you know, that too. And you also got these Mormons. Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like, what the fuck is this bullshit? In the state of Wyoming, it is illegal to purchase alcohol past 10 o'clock at a liquor store or served at a bar on Sunday because Mormon law says it's a sin to drink alcohol past 10 o'clock on Sunday at night. And it's like, okay, that's bullshit. I'm down for freedom of religion 100%. But when you have a law that physically impacts whether business owners want to continue serving customers or not, that's bullshit. There are some liquor store owners and some bar owners that are like, it's Sunday, I'm tired, I don't want to be open that late. That's understandable. But there are some of them who are like, I could probably make a couple extra bucks. So why the fuck are these Mormon schmucks telling me what I can and can't do with my own business? A classic example, if you're working a graveyard shift Saturday, you get off late Sunday, and you worked all day from morning till and you get out of work at 9:30, and you get to the nearest liquor store and it just turned 10 o'clock, and you're like, look, I don't have any beer in the fridge, I just got off work, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, sorry, man, state law, we're closed. God damn it. So some poor schmuck working a graveyard shift's going to have to wait till tomorrow or the next day. You know what I'm saying? Just to have a cold beer. And it's like, that's bullshit. Like, okay, if your religion says, according to you, if your religion says that drinking past 10 o'clock on Sunday night is a sin, then you don't have to by any means. No one's stopping you. It's your fucking belief. But why the fuck you forcing it on the rest of us? That's all I'm getting at. For fuck's sake, Wyoming was like one of literally the last states to raise the drinking age to 21. Wyoming was literally the last state to raise the drinking age to 21. For the longest time, you could be 18 and buy liquor in the state of Wyoming. They didn't care. Longest time. Longest time. And then just to think that, okay, that must mean it's a good old boy state. If the Wyoming's like one of the last states to raise the drinking age to 21, then that implies that Wyoming is a good old boy state. Which there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? But to think that a good old boy state is being dictated by a bunch of Mormons because Wyoming supports the freedom of religion, which I can respect that, but that's pushing it, man. Like, I can respect freedom of religion, but that's pushing it. Why the fuck are Mormons allowed to do that? And the thing they don't realize is that what if the shoe was flipped and, a lot of them will say, well, I don't drink and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's whatever. But what if you were forced to drink by law every Sunday at that time until dawn and you just had to deal with it? Again, that's what I'm getting at. As you put yourself in the other person's shoes, all of a sudden it's like, okay, flip the script. Exactly. Like, I'm already dealing with a cold. I got a ban from Facebook. My phone's broken. And then a minor disagreement with my dad, just to top it all off. Not exactly the best way to encourage no anxiety by any means, but I figure before things, get too crazy or out of hand, not saying they will, but like before people really start jumping the gun and going, oh my God, King Cobra's got a pistol. Get over it. I love how triggered people get at the thought of me owning a gun, let alone a pistol. That was a horrible pun, but I'm being serious. Like, you're so concerned about what I'm doing and not what you're doing. You know, I don't need to have 10,000 guns stacked up in a tiny ass apartment. No, 2 guns is plenty, the perfect amount. One main arm and a sidearm. That's all you need. You don't need to have, you know, like instead of being triggered at the thought of me owning a pistol, why not get triggered at the fact that men and women don't have equal pay rates? You know what I'm saying? Why not get triggered at the fact that crooked ass politicians are getting rich off our tax dollars, lying to our faces, being complete and total hypocrites? A case in point, you got these politicians who say you shouldn't smoke pot, blah, blah, blah. Then usually they get caught with pot. Like, I would laugh my ass off if Jeff Sessions got caught with some weed. I would laugh so fucking hard. I'd be like, oh, you motherfucker. You dirty motherfucker, telling everybody else. No, but it's like politicians love money and they're keeping weed illegal. It doesn't make any sense. Why? When you legalize weed, you open up a lot of cures for medical illnesses. You open up the gateway for a shit ton of money to flow into this economy's back pocket. People who are losing jobs can now get new jobs in the cannabis industry. Suicide rates drop, pill addiction rates drop, alcohol addiction drops. Yeah, some people might quit smoking tobacco and drinking alcohol if it becomes legal. And that's what some companies are worried about. So, of course, you got Big Pharma, the alcohol and tobacco industries, the cotton industries. These are all industries that would lose a lot of money if cannabis became legal. But that doesn't mean that people would stop wearing cotton shirts or they'd stop buying, you know, it would just mean that there's a more cheaper and cleaner alternative. And by legalizing it, that money will eventually trickle down to everybody in this economy. You know what I'm saying? Like in states like Colorado where cannabis has been legalized, they're making millions upon millions of dollars in tax revenue, creating a tourist revenue for the vacationers. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that sex offenders and rapists and child molesters get less prison time than somebody convicted for a mild pot possession, that triggers me pretty hard. The fact that our veterans cannot smoke pot for their PTSD because it is still a fucking felony, that triggers me. They fight for your country just so you can throw them in prison as soon as you catch them smoking weed. Fuck right off, dude. Now, if your platoon leader says you have to kill that civilian child because they have a bomb strapped to their fucking chest and they might use it to blow up your entire squadron, And if that person's got to do it, they got to do it. You know, it's unfortunate, but then if that person has kids at home that they love and care about, that's going to psychologically fuck with them just a little bit. Like, yo, I killed some random parent's kid to save my country and my platoon, but like fucking the kids at home that I care about, you know, it's that kid's not going to go home to his or her parents, but I get to come home to mine. You know, it's and just that off that hypothetical alone, you can see why war would fuck with anybody's head if they're not strong enough to, you know, saying like it's fucked. And if they lose a limb on top of it from a fucking explosion or whatever, and you're telling them, oh, they can't smoke pot for their PTSD because it's a federal offense, and the fucking government grows it. Like if you're a Harvard medical student and you want medical marijuana to study, you can apply to get some from the government. The government grows it, yeah. But the weed they send medical students at universities is grown on purpose to not have anything so that it delays research. Meanwhile, there are 4 people in the United States of America, yes, 4 people whose condition is so horrible that the government provides them with medical marijuana. And the simple fact of the matter is, these 4 people can smoke it anywhere in the country, whether it's illegal or not, and not get in trouble for it because their condition is that severe. So the government's telling us, okay, you can't smoke it, you can't grow it, it's illegal, but then the government grows it for bogus studies at medical research and for patients who really need it that badly. And if you know they're growing it for the patients who need it that badly, then you know the government's growing it for themselves. Fucking chiefing up a fat blunt, laughing their asses off, going, huh, we get all this money from Big Pharma, we can prevent people from doing the thing we're doing. But the dastardly hypocrisy, like some evil villain type shit. And it's like, okay, look, that's kind of bullshit. That's like some Super Troopers bullshit. You know, I can respect a politician when they're honest about their pot use. You know, that Bill Clinton just was like, oh, I did smoke it, but I didn't inhale. Man, I did not like it. Bullshit. The dude's probably got a bong in the shape of a goddamn saxophone. Every time he rips that sucker, it plays the opening sax to turn the page. That'd be a kick-ass bong, wouldn't it? A giant-ass bong in the shape of a saxophone. You unscrew the top half to fill it up with water, then close it back up. And then when you go to fucking hit it, it plays the opening sax to turn the page by Bob Seger. Presenting a bong with copyright infringement. That sounds like the kind of bong Bill Clinton would smoke out of. Could you imagine, like, did people fax copies to each other and shit? That was before we had cell phones to send images. We had these fax machines. You make a copy on one machine, fax the image to someone else across the world, that sort of thing. So here's Bill Clinton before the invention of sexting. Hey baby, I want to fax you a picture of my sax. Just don't tell my wife. That's when you tap the microphone, you're like, this thing on. No, but it goes to show you, okay, so Bill Clinton gets caught lying about cheating on his wife. He's immediately impeached. Donald Trump gets caught lying about Obama wiretapping Trump Towers, basically making him look like a huge fucking racist. He goes against what he said about the transgendered LGBT community and what have you on his campaign. Does a bunch of shit, doesn't get impeached. And the reason being is because people realize that if Donald Trump gets impeached, that's going to be replaced by an even crazier asshole. It's a little bit smarter, but Yeah. And of course, here's the thing of it. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are distant cousins. Tell me that wasn't a fucking setup. Tell me, YouTube, the elections weren't rigged. When Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are distant cousins, nobody knows that. Nobody knows that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are distant cousins. So tell me the fucking election wasn't rigged. I guarantee you if the Democrats would have elected Bernie Sanders for their nominee, they would have won by a fucking landslide. So many people towards the end of the campaign trail were getting ready to vote for Bernie, and he just happened to not make it into the main election. And it's like, seriously? When you see a bird land on the podium of a speech that Bernie Sanders is giving, and he's able to pick the bird up into his hands and continue talking, that should just tell you right there, dude, why isn't this guy president? Look how fucking majestic that was. Like, what the fuck? We get this fucking Cheeto motherfucker for president. It's like, I wonder whose hands are tinier, Kim Jong-un's or Trump's. Oh, ouch. And Kim Jong-un's threatening America with nukes, and I'm supposed to be scared of violent threats when America has a mass shooting every other month. I'm kind of desensitized to violence. That was just too fucking real with it. And I'm the voice against all that bullshit, man. I'm one of the few people that I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking take it. You know, like, this is me just saying, you think I'm scared of Kim Jong-un, dude? No, man. Am I supposed to be intimidated by terroristic attacks when America is so goddamn desensitized to violence that a woman breastfeeding in Walmart is seen as pornographic and offensive, but if someone gets their head blown off on a news story, no one bats a fucking eye. Like, a mother uses her naturally given breasts to feed her infant so that shoppers or restaurant goers can enjoy their shopping and or dining experience without listening to the kid going, wah, wah. I mean, most parents are like, hey, they want to go out and have a bite to eat. I get that. You know, you're stuck in the house all day raising your kid. You want to go out. I get that. But have enough common fucking sense to go, okay. That's why a lot of mothers will pre-pump breast milk into a bottle so they don't have to whip it out in public because, you know, our society is so fucking prude anymore. Like, how dare a mother breastfeed her child in public? I couldn't be any more sarcastic with it if I wanted to. Now, here's the thing, YouTube. If I'm going to the store to buy groceries, if I'm at a fucking restaurant trying to enjoy my meal, the last thing I want to hear is some kid crying their fucking eyes out. Like, get over it, people. They're just boobs, for fuck's sake. I tend to think people who were never breastfed as children, they grow up to be offended by the thought of breastfeeding. Like, seriously, like, that's the only conclusion I can come up with. Like, you were never breastfed as a child, so now the thought of it offends you. And it's like, okay, you know, it's, whatever. But, like, I think a lot of people hear me out on that. You know, like, when you got a mother who's got a crying infant in a restaurant, you're trying to eat with your family, or maybe you got a cute date you're eating next to, you know, or in front of, or whatever. You don't want to listen to Junior crying their fucking eyes out. You know, you're like, okay, you know, worst comes to worst, they're going to put a blanket on and discreetly breastfeed their child in public. Who the fuck cares, man? Like, God damn it. Yes, there are some videos of women lactating for pornographic reasons, but other than that, there's nothing completely sexual about. I mean, there are some people who have a fetish for that kind of thing. That's how you do, man, you know. But, like, ugh. People like Hugh Hefner, as I've said before, are trying to desexualize the female form and say that it could be art, it could be tasteful, it didn't have to be raunchy and pornographic. It didn't have to be seen as taboo. And that's exactly the kind of crap we face in our society today. You know what I'm saying, YouTube, is people get offended by Okay, so just next time you think about getting offended by breastfeeding, just think about what I've said. Like straight up, like, okay, would you listen to the kid cry, or would you just, like if you are offended by breastfeeding, you are a special kind of stupid, aren't you? Like it just boggles my fucking mind, man. Some of these fucking people. These are the same fucking idiots that go, well, how dare Gothic King Cobra buy a pistol, I mean, some people are upset by it for various reasons, and some of those reasons are reasonable, but some of them are completely bullshit, like a lot of it's just hate because you wish your state was as gun friendly as mine. Like straight up, you're just jealous that Wyoming's gun friendly. That some people living in other states have a lot stricter gun control and more gun regulations. You know what I'm saying? And it's just unfortunate. How much do you want to bet if you legalize pot that mass shooting would stop along with suicide? Because then people are going to be like, you know what? I don't have to, there are some people who don't give a fuck if it's legal or not. They'll drive down to Colorado, whatever. But if people are given the option to smoke a fat blunt and say fuck all the drama and bullshit, chances are they might take it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are protesting mass shootings in schools by walking out of school. You know, it's like, are you playing hooky? No, I'm protesting. And I get why you're doing it, no disrespect, but a good education will get you far. Yeah, but look at Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. They dropped out of school and became multimillionaires. Okay, that's not my point. Unless you have the next biggest idea, then you need that education. And people can talk all the shit they want, but I graduated from high school with a degree, got my diploma. I'm not living on the streets. I'm not in a goddamn mental asylum. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a goddamn group home. I'm living on my own and trying to survive. I'm doing pretty good for myself. Pretty damn good for myself considering my circumstances. And when people talk shit and hate on me for it, I just laugh. Like, dude, I have more shit to deal with than you do probably, and I'm still pulling it off better than you. It's fucking awesome. You know what I'm saying? um, you can't believe Josh graduated high school. Is that an insult to my intelligence? Because that's laughable. It was down to small engines class, and my teacher could see I was at least trying. And putting a small engine back together after taking it apart, and some of them not being in the best of condition, they're not going to start, which is beyond any basic high school training. You know what I'm saying? So I got a C for at least showing effort and that I was trying to learn. Thank you for the $2 donation. And here's something else they don't want you to know. Area 51 is not only hiding aliens and spacecrafts, it's also hiding fallen angels and demons and that sort of thing. The kind of stuff they don't want you to fucking find out that exists. There's like 4 different doors. One contains a chamber with aliens and shit, and another one contains alien technology. Another one contains military technology like jets and weapons and shit like that. And the 4th door contains fallen angels, demons, and the information that they don't want you to know, that they think the goddamn public can't handle. I've seen some rather interesting documentaries on YouTube, and well, yeah. I watched a YouTube video. That's how I found it out. This was a YouTube documentary. Does this guy read the chat ever? Does that answer your question? That's all I know on the. That's really all I know on Area 51 from what I've gathered on YouTube videos and such. The government denied its existence for a long ass time, and then footage came out, and they're like, well, shit. Crop circles, man. Aliens are getting stoned in outer space and going, check out my sick drawing skills. They go on to planet Earth and they're like, or maybe they're just like, let's fuck with some humans. Check this out. I wouldn't know, but astronauts found marijuana growing on an asteroid in outer space, which doesn't sound too far from the truth. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, which makes me think that maybe aliens from other planets are smoking it. I'll do a guitar shredding video later on today when it's more appropriate. Right now, it's way too early in the morning to be doing that sort of thing. It's like 3:45 in the morning. There's no need to be playing any guitar that late. But maybe towards like the afternoon, maybe. Well, according to someone in chat, thanks. Your 6 skills have helped me help teach me to play. Well, if people can learn guitar from just watching my videos, then that's kind of cool. Considering I watch other YouTubers sometimes. If I want to look up a song on YouTube, I can usually find it. Someone teaching it and saying, step by step, this is how you play it. And then once you know the notes, you practice each note, and then you practice the sequence over and over. Huh. My glasses don't make me cross-eyed. I have a lazy eye. The Earth is not flat, it is round. It is a sphere that revolves in a circle around the sun in a much bigger circle. But because of human perception because of human perception, it is perceived as flat because even though the surfaces we build our houses and buildings are sometimes on hills, it's still a flat surface. Nope, just smoking on some pipe tobacco. There's marijuana growing on asteroids in outer space. Are other civilizations partaking in it? That's the bigger question. There's probably aliens guarding the space weed with like some badass alien technology. Humans evolved from basic bacteria found in water. Started off as microorganisms that grew on a fucking meteor covered in plant material, much like that asteroid covered in the marijuana plant that was growing on it in space. And somehow, gases from space and bacteria from space and what have you, and through evolution and a bunch of other scientific shit, that bacteria evolved into small fish, and then that small fish evolved into bigger fish and bigger fish, and eventually that fish developed a way to crawl on land. And then that land-dwelling fish eventually came to be upright, and I didn't go to school for anthropology. No, you can do research on these things using the internet. Most of the things you want to research can be found on the internet. You don't need some special degree to do a quick Google search now, do you? No, you don't. I graduated from high school. That's as far as my education has gone. Class of 2010, that's the year I graduated. Who rules the world? Definitely not the leaders. President Trump is not in charge. He's merely a puppet on strings, YouTube. There's someone behind the scenes. There was someone or something behind the scenes controlling everything. I don't know who it is, but there's someone out there that controls even the 1%. A secret society. Maybe it's the Illuminati. Who knows? Maybe the Illuminati is really the puppet master for the president. If you want to figure out who it is as a collective, that's totally up to you, but I would just be careful digging for certain information, because if you try to figure out names and of people and such that you're not supposed to know. You might get in trouble looking up information you're not supposed to have. You might get a knock at your door from the feds going, hey, you better cut that shit out. We know what you're looking up. That's on a need to know basis, Buster. So if you decide to go digging for more answers, just be warned. I feel like it'd be only fair to warn all of you, because someone in chat said, well, do you think we should find out? Yeah, I'm aware that the government may be watching me through my camera lens. They like watching me jack off to chatterbait females or what? I don't know. But if they are keeping tabs on me, they're like, oh, this guy's cool. You know, he's just a little out there and he's autistic as fuck. He gets bullied by people on social media, but he's not breaking any laws or anything. He's, you know. I highly doubt that Comfortable Screw. That sounds like a fabricated tale. Comfortable Screw said the CIA once visited me and said, you need to stop watching King Cobra JFS. I said, LOL, hell no. That was it. I don't know about that, man. That one seems a bit fabricated. Oh, no, I don't smoke too much at all. I get to smoke when I go to Colorado every now and then. But if you don't believe me, Google it, people. Google the article, marijuana found in outer space on asteroid. Google it if you don't believe me. Enlighten your mind with some rich history and facts and discoveries, you know, food for thought. Well, if marijuana can grow off an asteroid, it makes you wonder what else can be growing in outer space. So there could be a future where you have astronaut farmers because the sun's energy is weak and they've developed technology to minimize it because it's about to go out and shit. So I don't know. It probably is. I bet you it would be interesting. If I was at a dispensary in Colorado and they said, why is this? I asked them, why is this bud so expensive? Like $50 a gram? Get the fuck out of here with that. They'd be like, dude, this is space weed. I'd be like, what? They'd be like, this is weed cultivated from an asteroid from outer space, brah. I'd be like, well, okay, if you say it's weed cultivated from an asteroid in outer space, I can see why you charge $50 a G for it, but damn, bro. Is space weed green? I have no idea what color space weed would be. All I know is I seen an article online a couple months ago that said a couple astronauts discovered some marijuana growing on an asteroid floating in space. So I just thought it was rather interesting. I'm like, well, how about that? I wonder what the story on that is. But anybody who says the Earth is flat is is sadly mistaken. There's a reason why we have different time zones. Because as the Earth rotates in a circle around a bigger circle, as the Earth rotates in a circle around the sun, in a smaller, like it rotates in a circle, and that rotates in a bigger circle. As it does that, one half of the Earth is covered in sunlight, the other half isn't. And because of the human's depth of perception, the Earth, which is a sphere, a ball shape, if you will, a giant rock, basically, just like any other planet, is perceived as flat because of gravity and the human depth of perception, but really it's a sphere. Because pictures taken from outer space, from different angles, when they shoot satellites into space and take pictures around the globe rotating around it, I tend to think that gives more proof to the theory that the Earth is not flat. The Earth rotates in a very slow circle, which rotates in a much bigger and faster circle around the sun. Space travel is no hoax. Other dimensions? Yes, I believe in that sort of thing. It's plausible. A lot of people think the moon landing was faked, yeah. Maybe it was filmed at like an Area 51 movie studio for recording that kind of thing. Oh. Time travel is possible, yes, but there's a accelerated science behind it, and right now they've only discovered it's possible to go a couple seconds back in time rather than a couple years, minutes, which isn't much, but as technology gets more advanced, they might discover a way to make time travel a reality. There'll probably be laws put into place. You can't fuck with time, otherwise you'll go to jail in the future. They'll suck your ass out of that different time zone and be like, "Oh no, you didn't." It'll probably be a federal space crime to fuck with time or some shit. I could already see that being a thing. You'll be able to like visit time in the past, but you won't be able to fuck with it. And the suit you put on will help you blend into time, whichever zone you're going into automatically, so you don't have to wear period clothing. Because I don't work with the government, that's why. The reason why I'm probably not there is because the powers I have probably don't compare to the full blown thing. Someone in chat asked if Area 51's housing angels and demons. Then why aren't you there because you have powers? Good question. I removed it to kind of protect you a bit there, but um, because my power is not, it's impressive, yes, but it's not nearly the scale as impressive as what they're hiding over there, I reckon. Some like next level supernatural shit. That's not the kind of period I was talking about. Like 18, like say for example, you travel back to the 18th century, like 18th century period clothing. There's more than one way to say that. Get your fucking mind out of the gutter, you sick motherfucker. According to Comfortable Screw, when the CIA came to my house, they were worried about me learning how to change the weather. Yeah, Comfortable Screw says the CIA told him to stop watching my videos. I don't know if that's true or not. Does the government know about your magic, Josh? I don't know if they do or not. And quite frankly, I could care less because it's part of my religion, and there's a freedom of religion in the United States of America. So they can't do nothing about it, or they could, but then legally, even if the government is aware of my superpowers, then they probably don't care that much because I'm protected under the freedom of religion, which is in the Constitution, much like the Second Amendment, which is a privilege and a right. A right that can be revoked because you can lose your privilege. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. And I don't intend to do anything to lose my privileges like that. That's just the thing. Is what makes ending my life worth it? No, when I got so much going for me. And what makes it worth ending someone else's life? I got bigger fish to fry, man. Fuck that noise. Straight up, fuck that noise. But why does the government hide secrets from us that they don't want us to supposedly find out? Because they think we can't handle it. They think the American people aren't ready. The truth, you can't handle the truth, so to speak. But I think some people are capable of handling a lot more than you realize. But like when you got a government that doesn't trust its people that it's supposed to govern. Well, thank you for the $20. A protection spell for a door. Thank you for purchasing the Trails of the Abyss pillow, and thank you for the $20 donation. Uh, See, that's a good question, Internet Collective. I think the government already has that technology. They don't need my help for that. Internet Collective says, what if the government imprisons you and makes you cast thunderstorms on their enemies? See, I think they already do that. There's an episode about the CIA being able to control the weather that was on American Dad, but I have a sneaking suspicion that's not too far from the truth. I mean, you never know. Think about it. Stan works for the CIA, and you never know. But you didn't hear it from me, right? And again, these can be taken as crazy conspiracy theories, but That's something to think about, now, isn't it? Tommy Dickassay is saying, "Oh, this is blowing my mind, Cobes." What if the Bible was interpreted wrong? What if you're supposed to worship Satan instead of God? Because God kills a shit ton of people in the Bible, and Satan only kills 10 people. So what if Christians are doing it wrong? What if instead of worshiping an unseen sky god, you worship you worship yourself as a god or goddess, depending on, like, if you're a male, find your inner god. If you're a female, find your inner goddess, that sort of thing. Because that's what I don't get. How the fuck is Satan the bad guy when God kills a shit ton of people, tells Abraham, you got to kill your son to prove your loyalty to me? What kind of fuck shit is that? You're going to make some father kill their son to prove you're worshiping loyalty to them? Like, there are some things in the Bible I kind of question. I'm just saying. The CIA doesn't necessarily have, no, but Area 51 is containing the whereabouts of where Satan's at and the Almighty Three and that sort of thing, which is Satan, his brother Lucifer, and their brother the devil himself. 3 different deific forces altogether. Not 3 different people, 3 different deific forces altogether. Like, what if there's a portal to another dimension and it's contained within the Bermuda Triangle? And that's why shit just disappears with no explanation. You go diving into the sea and there's no wreckage of planes or anything. You already know it. Yes, that's what's up, legitly, yes. To answer your question, most definitely yes. But why is the government hiding these things from people, and why do trolls harass people? This is just exactly why I named this live stream WHY. Trying to make a chi ball appear in my hand. Just one hand. Conjure Zozo. Aww. Be like having a pet dog for me, though. I mean, I could summon Zozo if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because releasing Zozo into an apartment complex would be a bit irresponsible. Like, those are just some things you gotta. Dude, there was a flash or. Dude, there was a flash or something when he was doing that shit with his hand. Yes, there was. You saw the chi, didn't you? Good, good, good. I'm tapping my fingers on my desk. That's the noise. Oh, it's going good, Matthew Morgan. Thank you for asking. I was dealing with some stress earlier, so I took a break from the bullshit, so to speak, and went on to how you say hang out with friends for a bit, and then I came back. Yeah. Do I go on chatterbaits? Occasionally, yes. Chatterbait females. You go on just the right time, you can find a smoking hot chick, man. So I've seen some fine ass women on that website. Not really, no. Matthew Morgan asks the question, YouTube trolls getting at you? No, not really. I've gotten used to it over the years. Indeed, some cherry pipe tobacco, yes. Ooh. I'm about to make a giant pizza pocket tomorrow for a YouTube video. That'd be insane, wouldn't it? And people have seen me do the fucking pizza videos so many times that, yeah. Try to take one of those sheets of dough and make a giant ass pizza pocket. Or a calzone, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I could do that live for a video later on today. Kind of tilt the camera more towards my kitchen so you can see me. I'm not making anything now. I'm just getting ideas for a cooking video, YouTube. A burger pizza. There's an idea. Cooking up some burger patties and like midway to a point and ramen pizza. There's an idea too. Okay, I got my next two cooking videos. I'm going to do a giant hot pocket, and then the other one's going to be like a burger ramen noodle type pizza. Have I been working out? Not recently, no. Maybe I could do it like a bacon cheeseburger pizza for one video, and then like a giant pizza pocket for the other video. Yeah. No, I'm fine. I'm just a little bit tired. Live streaming this late at night gets a little tiring just from staying up so late, but I do it because, my fans appreciate it. And, I had the spur for a good video and I didn't want to lose it.